So, for my very first podcast today, I am extremely honored and excited to introduce my first guest, Miss Tamara Carter. She is, in my eyes, a very powerful shaman, divine feminine, and by day, an intimacy coach. Is that how you would describe yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself and the work that you do.
Thank you so much for inviting me here today. And as you've said, we've had so many interesting conversations just between the two of us to explore so many topics. And I'm really excited to take those conversations even further. And yes, if we had to give what it is I offer this world and what service I offer, it would be an intimacy coach. And the reason for that is what intimacy is to me is the concept of intimacy, and it is also the concept of divine union within us, to be able to see all aspects of ourselves, our own feminine energy, our own masculine energy, and being able to experience that for wholeness, for remembrance, for knowing who it is we are. So that word pretty much encompasses everything I see, and that would be the word intimacy.
I love that, especially when you said into me see, and that's why I've chosen this topic as the first one for my podcast. And it is about the masculine wound and breaking through that armor of the masculine wound, which is not isolated to gender. And this is what I've realized in my personal journey into me see, that I carry a very deep masculine wounding. And I think where I would like to delve a bit deeper in with you and explore is the difficulty in men embracing divine king energy, in my perception, in the men that I have met recently or interacted with. And I feel that, with the rise of the feminine, it was necessary through the patriarchy and colonialism, and we can go into history as well with the witch trials. But through that persecution, the feminine did rise. But what it has also created is an imbalance in how the masculine then perceives he can express his divine masculine energy and then create healthy relationships based on that. So I think with feminine stepping into their assertiveness, stepping into competitiveness, stepping into leadership, and I've seen that in my career as an engineer, how I've tried to force my masculine energy by changing who I am. So instead of being assertive, I was called to be aggressive. Instead of being nurturing, I was called to be, harder. And the feminine qualities that I naturally embodied, I shut down because it was seen as a sign of weakness, in the corporate environment. And for a long time, I felt that I needed to be in my, I would say, for lack of a better phrase, toxic masculine energy to survive that environment. And when I reflected, I realized, probably in my divorce as well, what the root cause of that is because my ex-husband is a very strong alpha masculine energy. And with me trying to be that as well, we didn't hold space for each other. So I guess what I wanted to explore with you is what are some of the wounding and the traumas that you are seeing in your healing work and in your intimacy work with men and women.
So this is my favorite topic. So thank you for sharing all of that, and we all sit with it in one way or the other. And I'm going to start with the feminine. So With the feminine, we are beautifully embodied feminine. So, how we experience this reality is the feminine embodiment. Yet, we hold within us feminine and masculine energy. And the greatest wounding with the feminine is their masculine energy, the relationship they have with their masculine energy. Okay. If women would be 100% honest with themselves, and you can hear it when you have a group of women together, you can, even if you are deeply honest with yourself, if you had to sit down and really have a honest, raw conversation with yourself about the masculine, you will find there is a lot of disappointment, a lot of resent, a lot of anger, and even in some cases, a lot of hatred towards the masculine. Okay? So, if that is the relationship that lies deeply unconscious in many of us towards the masculine in our world, it is the same relationship we have towards our own masculine. Okay?
That makes sense.
So, with this energy, and we want to live whole and integrated within ourselves, yet the relationship we have towards our own masculine and towards the masculine in this world is one of deep mistrust. We don't feel safe. There is actually no respect. You can hear it in conversations when women talk about their husbands or talk about their ex-husbands or talk about just men in general. There is not much respect and there is no trust left. Okay, so for me, the root cause of this is literally from childhood. So being born into this world as a woman, what we look for in this world as a woman is that validation, that acknowledgement, that love from our father. Okay? And we arrive as beautiful whole beings into this world. And the person that's going to teach us our relationship with our own masculine is our father. So in certain cases, we start putting up identities and start creating identities with our behavior, because certain behaviors allows you to receive love from your father, and other experiences we have, we feel rejection from our father. So as life goes on, we start experiencing this with men in our worlds and with our father, and we start creating these identities about how we need to behave to be good enough for love. So in this, there are aspects of us that we start rejecting, we start denying, we start pushing away, and we create this identity and this relationship with the masculine, that if we behave like this, we are good enough for love. If we do this, we are not good enough for love. And in the end, the long story at the end of it all is we build up a disrespect and a disdain for the masculine, because we are denying a version of ourselves. We are denying our wholeness. So we feel rejected and abandoned by the masculine, that we cannot just be the whole, too much woman, complete the way we are and accepted just for what it is we are. So this starts from a very young age. And until we can actually deeply sit down and be 100% honest with ourselves, that we hold this deep rejection from the masculine, because we had to play roles to receive the love we thought we needed. We needed that validation. But in the end, what actually happened is we were deeply rejecting ourselves. Because wholeness is an experience of union between your own feminine and your own masculine. But if we have felt deep rejection from the masculine, and we have felt we have had to play certain roles to be loved, we reject our own masculine, and we hold disdain towards our own masculine, which means we are denying our own wholeness.
What does that look like in a woman or woman that you have worked with? What does that actually look like when we are denying our masculine? Some of the behaviors you have seen, or perceptions, values, the way we carry ourselves in the world.
So it's very interesting. So you're either going to find women that are going to step up very strong in their masculine,
which is what I did, exactly, yeah.
100%, that I don't need a man in this world, I can do this on my own. And it plays a very big part in the feminist movement, is I can do this. And you'll even hear it, women will say, whatever a man I can do better.
Yeah,
Absolute
that hyper-independence.
Hyper-independence, and literally I don't need a man. But yet when they are home alone, what they crave is that union, that being able to surrender, being able to be soft, being able to be held. And that creates a big rejection, and it also creates a deep part within us that we cannot receive love. So that hyper-independence is deep rejection, and it's deep abandonment once again. Okay, so you've either got that side or you've got the other side, and oftentimes they go hand in hand, is where a woman feels that she is incomplete without a man in her world. That only a man can create completeness for her and wholeness within her. So what she will do is she'll literally abandon everything that she is just so that she can have a man in her life, so that she can feel safe, feel as if she is held. So she doesn't trust within herself that who she is actually whole and complete and worthy of being loved. That being her wholeness is too much, and no man can ever accept that. So once again, deep rejection, deep abandonment. So it works, and how beautifully this whole thing plays out is what we are in this world, the energy we hold, our relationship with our own masculine and feminine, is what we experience in this world. So every relationship we experience in this world is literally a gateway and a reflection of what is going on within you. So you will find the same cycles. You will keep attracting the same type of men into your world that will abandon you, that will reject you, because all they are there is literally gateways to be able to show you what you are doing to your own masculine energy. We do not trust the masculine. And deeply I can respect, and I hold deep compassion for that, because that has been my journey too, is that there is no trust in the masculine, but there is no trust in our own masculine, because from little we abandoned ourselves to play roles to get our father's validation. So nothing about us trusts the masculine to accept us as whole as we are, in our full expression. So we don't know how to take responsibility. We don't know how to just surrender into being held, into being safe, into being all of that, unless we are playing a certain role. And that role was the role we played to literally just be validated and loved by our fathers. And for many women, they didn't even have a father. So the idea of even having a relationship with your own masculine, there is no grounding, there's no, they have not experienced it. So they have searched and looked for it in the men in this world.